Can you even still see me? Let me double check that. Alright, you can. Good stuff. Welcome to episode 15. And the year's ending, kind of like recording these podcasts very fast. Yesterday, the episode that I was recording, I was in a rush. And I realized how I kind of like missed half the points, got upset after that, but it's not a big deal. And actually, today is kind of the same. Have roughly about half an hour. Actually, let me check the time. I keep forgetting to do that, and we got 6:40 p.m. Today's the time. Right now is the time. New Year is here in like 5 hours, so it's exciting stuff. And I think this episode is gonna be like the most boring one. I don't have anything to talk about. Kind of. There's only like a few points that I'm gonna bring up. Also, I see how my hoodie is like matching with this box here. By the way, a couple of things about this box is they came like the lights came in packaged like that, and I was kind of testing out the lights, and then I was like, oh, this looks really cool, but the frame I feel feels really empty, so this has to be filled with something. So I just put a box there, and that's it. And then I was like, well, I maybe should do these like product review type videos because I literally have all of this here. I can make like a solid video. And then I was like, you know what? That's not what I want to do. Even though that can generate views, which is awesome, but that's not what I want to do. I would feel just like disconnected from like my purpose or my direction. So that's that. So anyway, what else do we have? The New Year's resolutions. There you go. This is my all-time favorite topic. It's always hilarious, and I just cannot get it how people keep lying to themselves. Nothing is happening. The next year comes, they're like, okay, this time I'm gonna get into shape. I'm gonna like start reading books. I'm gonna start meditating. I'm gonna go to like, I don't know, driving school. Some people like have hard time getting driver's license. I realize that, so I'm bringing it up. And the year starts, they kind of get into it maybe in the first week, like even if that is like a possible thing. A lot of people are like, I've been celebrating so hard, partying so hard, it was so cool, let me chill for like at least half of the first week. And that's how you go down right away. Like, you set your expectations, or what are they called, resolutions, like on the New Year's Eve or like a little bit before that, and then downhill right away, just right from the start. Oh, actually, you know what, let me take a chill. That's the opposite thing. Like, that's the whole, like, that makes no sense. And then another thing, it's the silliest thing ever. I also think like it's good to plan. It's good to see like you have like a very structured like next 365 days in front of you, so you're like, you can do something with that time. So that's good. There is value in it. But overall, you plan it and then don't follow on your plans, like, yeah, it's just like, if something is really important to you, do not make it a New Year's resolution. Just start right away. Like, you should have started in the middle of August. Like, that's when you should have started going to the gym or reading books or whatever it is that you want to do. Not like, oh, let me waste like next 5 months until the new year starts, so then I can be like, all right, now I am important to me, so now I'm gonna start taking care of myself. Like, it's just absurd, and don't lie to yourself. I think that's the biggest resolution. Like, it's a meme at this point. And at the same time, let me also get a little bit sad and depressing, but it's really upsetting. I woke up today, watched a couple of TikToks that I was sent, just excuses to, present myself that I don't watch TikTok on purpose. And there are literally jokes from like some celebrities and things like that, where they are like, oh yeah, I don't set resolutions anymore because I always what do you call that, fucking goddamn it, I like let myself down because I like procrastinate and I don't do it, so I don't want to fail myself for this year, so I don't even set up the New Year's resolutions. And it gets a lot of likes, shares, people relate to that because that's how people feel. The mainstream direction exactly works that way. You have to predict the trend, feel it, and talk to the audience and what they feel and how they are. So that exposes where the masses are at with their like mindset, or like mentally where they're at, like already ready to fail for the upcoming year. And that is like, that's kind of like a huge layer of our society, and this is very dangerous. And the problem is, this is what is getting normalized and kind of like presented all over the place. So that's fucking just sad that that's the case. And also, you cannot blame anyone here. I really thought about this. I was like, well, maybe like the media, they are the pieces of shit, like they're spreading that, or the celebrities that are like pushing that narrative. I don't think so. I just kind of don't think so. Everyone is in a like business mindset, like trying to make a living for themselves, trying to make money, make more fame, get more followers, like keep growing, keep expanding. Like everyone has that type of mindset. And then to do that, you have to take the necessary steps. And if you are a celebrity that wants to keep like being on the top, that always wants to have like eyes on him, being in the trends, you have to play into these like narratives, or you have to play into like what people want to hear. And if people want to hear something that is bad for them, you still have to say it. It is going to be bad for them, but it's going to be good for you. So, and that's like, a lot of people take that road, a lot of companies, like celebrities, people, like a lot of people make that decision. And I don't think I can like blame them, because without that, there like is like barely any growth. There's like, it's very difficult, tough. It's like there's a whole nother conversation. I got depressing, super fucking sad. Like the happiest day, or like a very chill day, really don't want to talk about these things, just to keep the good energy up and all of that. I woke up today, started like right away, started meditating. Just, I don't know, it's for me like the way I am, what I figured out, I need to have like very proper, healthy sleep schedule and meditation. And I just don't know, I feel like I'm very, I guess, sharp, very like, it's very easy to focus on things, very easy to notice things. Everything becomes so much easier and lighter. Like there is no tension or roadblocks. There is no like overthinking some kind of like external problems that always like get to me. I don't know, it's like, I don't know, like a balloon floating to the air. It's just like going kind of. There is no, I don't know how to, like, bad analogy. Fuck it, doesn't matter. Let me see what else I got in my notes. And one of them is 2022 New Year resolution. Just talked about that. And by the way, let me also say one more thing. Just to be clear, because I kind of made fun of it and all that, but I think it's important to set the plan, like have something for yourself. And ideally, actually, I think this is important. Not something, but you want to have like a clear direction where you want to go, where you want to be, what you want to accomplish. Like very as clear as possible, like what and why and how, and all of those details. It is very, very important. Not because it's a new year, not because it's the magical resolution and it's gonna happen automatically and all of that. Although I don't know, maybe magic exists. I don't know. That was a perfect spot right there to insert some weird jokes, but it doesn't matter. So yeah, it's important to set up the plan for yourself, or like an idea, direction. And again, not because it's the new year or whatever, but because you will have a very structured, clear, laid out on the calendar type of kind of plan for this next year. Like you can see the days and weeks and all of that. So that's a ton of things that you can do in those days, which is why I like plan it and then move towards what you want. It's so common sense. I just cannot kind of, I just cannot kind of. That's my English. And yeah, so definitely it's good to use it wisely, or like plan your time. I guess that's what I want to say. But don't fall for these, like, if you've been like destroying yourself mentally and physically and like overeating and all of that, and then you're like, yeah dude, new year, I'm starting the gym, the memberships, the diet, I'm vegan now, all of that. It's just too much pressure. That's also very unrealistic. A lot of people want this like very rapid, sharp, like a sharp corner, like sharp turn type of change, and nothing in nature happens in like a sharp way unless it's like something horrible like a volcano explosion or things like that. But even though like probably things there like are like slowly building up and then there is an explosion or eruption. But if you, I think like if you look at nature, everything is like very very slow. Like everything grows in nature very slowly, like trees, animals, anything that is alive. It takes time to grow, evolve, develop, and change. And people are part of the nature, and they also change slowly. You cannot be like the entire year I'm this, next day like the 1st of January, bam, now I'm a muscular, tough, cool guy. Not possible. Just but do it slow, do it in one small steps. That's exactly why there's 365 days to be like, you know what, first day I'm eating like 1 centimeter, like a 1 cubic of a like of a carrot. Like that's the first goal. That's amazing. Then you like eat 2, 3, 4, then you start eating like a whole carrot a day. It's like a oversimplified analogy, but I guess that's at least more practical way. Like you don't need this like insane sharp like go to the gym, instantly do like deadlifts with like 200 kilograms. Like, you know, start slow and go by small steps. Again, it's just common sense. So that's that. And I also gonna bring this up. I actually wanted to do a whole sketch, but I kind of reflecting just on myself. I noticed how talking with different people, discussing different topics, I noticed how there is an trend, not a trend, that's not the right word, but like an urgency or desire in me to bring the opposite point of view, the opposite of what the other person thinks that I'm talking with. And I want to bring the opposite point of view, even if I don't agree with it. And I'm not doing this to, I guess, annoy a person or make someone angry, but I realize that I'm actually doing it because I want to see how the person can respond or how much they know about the opposite, I guess, ideology or opposite perspective. And I think in general, because I'm saying all this because I'm really trying to understand myself better. And I think for me it is really, really important. Not exactly the choice that people make. Is it like on this hand or this? Is it like the left or the right? And this is not being political, it's just a simple example. I don't care if you choose this or that. I care, do you have the full perspective and have you been like wise and smart, analyzing the full picture and then making the decision? That is much more important for me than the decision that you made. And for me, it's not about this like left or right. It's more about, are you fully informed? Are you smart? Are you actually trying to challenge your own like opinion or vision or decision, versus not trying to research and learn and challenge and just going for something that is like very simple, something that you're like very like aligned with, something that is very close to your mindset already. I think those are the bigger, more important differences for me that I like pay attention to more. Because if you have a totally opposite, let's say I make like this decision towards right and you make the decision towards left, I'm not gonna get mad at you, but I want to talk and see like how much do you know about the opposite. And then if you are like, if you know more about the opposite, what I chose, then I'm like super excited to actually listen to you because you know more than me about my choice. that means I know I have done like less understanding of like of the entire situation, which is like fascinating to hear like what you know that made you go towards the other direction. Like that has so much more value and meaning than just the basic level of choice. Like, oh, like I'm just this. Why? Just this. Like fuck you. I'm like, you know, you're wrong. You're like this. Like just dirt and anger. Like which leads nowhere. It leads to conflict, and conflict leads to just destruction. I'm more about like creating and building things up and figuring things out. Literally wanted to call this podcast like figuring it out, and it sounds so stupid, or I don't know, like I don't think it has a sound. By the way, also on that note, it's episode 15 and I still don't have a name, and I think it doesn't matter. I honestly think literally doesn't matter. For the first thing, like this is not, I think, like that big of a deal. Also kind of like there's not a lot of like attention that I'm getting right now, which is completely fine. I think this is an ideal situation. By the way, on that note, I made some like quick shorts, some like little quick videos like here and there, and some of them got completely ignored. Like there's like 0 views, which I was like, how does that make any sense? Then some of them got like, I say like 40-50 views, which I was like, oh wow, like that is really big numbers for me. And then one video jumped to 1,000 views, and I was like, okay, I figured it out. I think I see what like YouTube wants to put into these shorts, and I made very close variation of that video, or like what I thought was important, and then that got like 1 view. And I feel like it's broken because it makes no sense, because my latest shorts are getting like 0 views, 1 view, 1 view, 1 view, and it's probably even myself clicking on them or something like that. So strange, but it also doesn't matter. For my New Year's resolutions, I had to get on TikTok like literally in the last weeks, and it's some things are confusing, and I gotta do it, and just being distracted with lots of bullshit. But anyway, what was I talking about before? Yeah, so the point where I don't care about the person's choice, but I care more about like their thought process and the information that they have in their mind, which led them to make the decision. And that's more important to me. And I also feel like, because I see a lot of people get angry, like some close people of mine, they get angry because I literally bring up the exactly opposite point, or I propose something entirely opposite of what people kind of have already settled for. And it's kind of like a funny way, or like it is hilarious, because I don't mean to create conflict, but I mean to see what's actually going on in people's minds. But then, first of all, emotions come up, and then everything kind of like fades and mixes, and information gets like confused, and everything kind of gets weird. So that's funny, and I think I just don't know. I feel like if I keep going this way, I'm just gonna become the most annoying person ever. Because yeah, in situations when I'm really curious and I want to like see what's going on in a person's mind, I want to present like a little challenge that will kind of make them unlock and show what they have on that bits of information. What do they have inside their mind on that bits of information? Yeah, people get angry, frustrating. So I'm on a way to become the most probably like annoying person ever. And I also think, in a way, it's a stupid thing to say, but or maybe not a stupid thing to say actually, but in a way, it is kind of like a good filter, because people that are very like thoughtful and that like to analyze and think and have a perspective, and actually like they really thoroughly thought about problems, or not even problems, just something simple as like eating sugar, or maybe not, that's not simple for some people, but anyway, things like that, it kind of it shows if a person has thought, if a person has analyzed, it shows that they think things maybe more seriously, they put more energy and more effort, and in the end that's another huge like indicator of a value inside the person, someone who puts in the value, especially towards themselves, their life, the decisions they're making, they actually take the like important decisions seriously, which is, I think, an important thing. Like there's a way, like there's a reason to do that. So it helps me, and I'm just saying this as I'm talking, I'm remembering how I met some like amazing people. One guy was from Canada, like incredibly smart, amazingly like interesting person. And yeah, like he would like think differently and bring different points. And actually, another amazing part, I think it's really cool when you bring something opposite of what people think. Instead of getting mad or angry, they actually talk and share, and that's another huge kind of indicator of a lot of, I guess, openness or like good energy inside the person, because they're willing to share, and they're very calm, and they're very like confident, or I guess relaxed about the information they have. They are willing to share it without feeling a threat of being wrong or like being triggered or hurt, because so they feel very stable and calm. And that's a very, very different type of human or energy that you can feel coming off of someone, versus you say something they don't like to hear and they instantly go off, just inflate, explode, start cursing at you, and seeing like you as like an enemy or something like that. Totally different types of people, totally different types of situations, and different, it kind of gives you an idea of what is going on inside of a person's head. And I'm probably gonna talk a lot about these things because I just keep noticing on these videos that I make, this is really fascinating for me to see these small social elements. And by social, I really mean, like, it's such a misunderstood word. What is social? What is it really? Is it social media? Is it like people talking with each other, like, hello, how are you doing? I'm well, fine, thanks. And you, like, is that social? No, none of that. I think it's like these are maybe like tiny parts of it, but this is more about literally like how people are. The most like generic type of explanation you can bring, but like, how do people make decisions? How do they think? What makes them think? Why do they think? When, like, what makes them fear? How do they like argue? Why do they argue? Why, when do they get insecure? Why do they get insecure? Like, I feel like all of these like human behaviors, I don't know how to explain it. It's all of the things combined. It includes psychology, it includes like trauma, working with insecurities, it includes like actual like talkative skills and all of that. And we'll see if I will talk about that or not. I might actually start reviewing some memes and all of that. And yeah, and I wanted to share this because, just kind of openly saying, for me this is super important, that I want to be like aware of myself as much as possible. And this is really a shame. I was thinking about this just a couple of days ago as I was driving. I was realizing how, I don't know, is it like bad to say or not, but it's easy for me, or fairly easy, to see patterns and these deeper kind of points in other people. How, like, what triggers them to make the decision, what triggers emotions in them, what triggers like confusion, fear, doubt, emotions. I just described emotions, but like how, like the patterns that they have throughout their like thought process, or when they deal with the challenge or things like that. It is kind of like a thing that is very fascinating for me to observe. And I guess I just have been doing it naturally since I was like very, very young. So it's cool that I can notice that in different people, and then I can present it to them, because I think that for me, like the way I operate, for me, I think there's a lot of value in that. And it's a really big shame that I cannot accurately observe myself. It's just not possible. The ego comes up. I start twisting things because I'm like kind of like explaining and adjusting, and then the whole like accuracy skews away. Like it goes completely inaccurate, and that's why it's hard to view some of these things. So, yeah. So that's the whole point of why. What I forgot what I was talking about like a couple like minutes before, but yeah, the not self-awareness is a really big part for me, and that's why like I even like started doing this whole thing. So that's that. Let me double check the time real quick. Forgot when I started. All good, not a problem. Got some other topics. Really don't want to make it long, and also last quick parts to say. So the new year is here. I'll repeat myself from the last episode. Hopefully this virus, COVID, Omicron things are evolving to be safer or less dangerous, and hopefully we can get back into this like real life, normal life, when probably I'll actually be able to take the camera outside or just bring and talk with other people, which is going to be more exciting overall. Or maybe not. There's going to be like 5 other COVIDs that are going to be a bit harsher, so we're going to stay in here. We're good. We have the fence, and it's fine. I actually kind of enjoy doing this. Not kind of. I really enjoy doing this. And yeah, so that's that. The new year is coming. Set your resolutions or whatever you want to set, or don't set. Just get some burgers and chill, relax, enjoy life. If that's the thing you want to do. And I think that's it. This is kind of the episode that I had today. Literally, kind of like didn't have any of that in my plans, but that's what I got for today. So that's it for now, and thank you for watching.